Alright folks, this is Harris Sultan and I'm gonna play you a video and I want you to watch it very carefully because I want you to be nothing like the guy featured in this video. We know that people in the West think that it is courteous to be nice and polite and be considerate of other people's feelings. Under normal circumstances, that is a good thing, but under some circumstances, you should hold your ground, because if you don't hold your ground, then other people keep usurping your ground. We know there is one particular culture that wants everyone else to conform to their ways, but they don't give an inch. They don't conform to other people's worldviews. They proudly and boastfully say that we don't change, we don't reform, we maintain our originality, and that is the key to our success. Be that as it may, for nearly 1400 years, they managed to keep their population in check. They managed to avoid conformity. They managed to prevent their ideology and culture and society free of outside influences. But the biggest strength is also becoming the biggest weakness. They thought that since we don't change, we follow our religion to the letter, we follow the example of our prophet, and that's why we are standing firm on our religion. In pre-modern times, that might have been a good thing because societies were insular, you could prevent outside influences. But as time progresses, we are seeing the tsunami of ex-Muslims. We are seeing people changing. There is a call from within the Muslim world to reform Islam. But some might argue that it is not happening fast enough because, at least in the West, we are seeing a more radical and dogmatic version of Islam amongst young Muslims. Be that in France, be that in Britain. America seems okay, but I don't know. I would wait for the numbers to boost a little bit to be able to draw a clearer picture. But let's get back to the video I was talking about. There is this video, which I'm going to show you. But before we go further, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you would like me to continue producing videos like these, then you can be my patron by going to patreon.com/Harris Sultan, or you can buy me a coffee. So let's get to today's video. If there is one thing that we can be sure of, that is that history repeats itself. And history repeats itself even more aggressively when people think that we've got the history worked out. It cannot happen to us because we know everything. Time and time again, we've seen people who think that it cannot happen to them, it happens to them. And here by people, I mean societies and civilizations. We have this hubris in the West where people thought that since Western civilization is so good, anyone who is going to enter the West is going to conform to Western values. For the most part, it is actually correct. We have seen many foreign cultures like the Indians, like the Japanese, the Chinese, people from various societies and cultures moved to the West, and then they became valuable assets to their adopted countries. But unfortunately, not all cultures are the same. Some cultures are more aggressive than others. Yes, you guessed it right. You know where I'm headed with this. I am headed towards Islam. Unfortunately, Islam does not change. Islam does not conform to modern values. Let me give you an example. If you manage to make a Muslim friend and you invite him to your house or to your Christmas lunch because you feel sorry for him, he's all alone by himself. If you manage to invite him to your Christmas lunch, most Westerners would actually avoid drinking wine out of respect for that Muslim man. Westerners are so polite and considerate that they usually give up things that are not acceptable to Muslims. And another thing that we have learned is that Muslims behave differently when they are in a minority, and their behavior changes radically when they are in a majority. And this actually comes directly from the example of the great Prophet himself. When the Prophet was peacefully preaching Islam during the first 10 years of his prophetic career, not a lot of people paid attention to what he was saying. He was saying good things like, for you is your religion, for me is my religion. If you don't accept my message, then you will burn in hell. But when that snake oil didn't sell, Prophet Muhammad migrated to Medina And now we see a different kind of a prophet. Now we have a warmongering kind of a prophet. Now it's not just the threats of hellfire, but real life military attacks on infidels. Now the numbers are soaring. The more people he converts to Islam, the more violent he becomes. So they're secular, they're tolerant when they're in a minority, but the moment they realize that their numbers are swelling, the demographics are changing, they become more and more violent. History is full of it. We have so many historical examples that I don't want to bore you with details. Just look at India. So anyway, so just remember these two things, yeah? History repeats itself and Muslims behave differently when they are in a minority. So they are a minority in Britain right now. Nearly 3 to 4% of the British population is made up of Muslim men. Another 3 to 4% of the British population is made up of Muslim women. They're innocent. They're not doing anything other than being useful idiots for their male counterparts. Other than that, they're fine. Can those 3 to 4% of British Muslims overthrow the UK government as they so badly desire? No, I don't think so. But for that, we need a united front. We need a strong opposition to the thuggery. And you cannot be like the guy that I'm about to show you in this video. Have a look at this video. Look at this guy. He's sitting in a lunchroom having his lunch. And then this Muslim man holding the camera walks up to him, calls him kuffar, plural for infidel, and shames him for eating while he's surrounded by Muslims who are fasting to please their imaginary entity. And instead of standing up for himself, instead of saying, look, you want to fast, you can fast. I'm not Muslim, I'm not fasting. But that Muslim man shames him for eating in the company of other fasting Muslims.
Look at this kuffar. Everybody's on Ramadan.
I know, I actually feel bad for eating.
And this
I'm
guy's,
going to have to put this away, you know.
this guy's stuffing his face.
This
guy just-
And listen to this guy. Instead of standing up for himself, he backed down. Oh, I feel bad now. Maybe I should go somewhere else and maybe eat in the dining toilet.
He just sat here stuffing his face.
Same fair.
Stand up for yourself, man. Grow a freaking spine. You don't have to be like that. You think they would extend you the same courtesy? No, they can't even wish you Merry Christmas because they think that this is against their religious teachings.
What's the ruling on saying Merry Christmas to the Christians or Happy New Year? The answer is it's totally prohibited to congratulate non-Muslims over their festivals.
And here you are bending over backwards, kissing their backside just to please them? You think they're going to return the favor? No, they won't. So we don't need cucks like this guy. Now, okay, maybe I shouldn't go too hard on him because maybe he felt intimidated. Well, he's a coward because he's in a workplace at least. They're not going to bash his head in. Just stand up for yourself. Just say, bro, sorry, mate. I'm eating. I'm hungry. Or maybe there's an inside joke. Maybe they've had this joke of kuffar, infidel, whatnot. But it is a derogatory term. No non-Muslim likes to be called that. Just like a Muslim would not like to be called an infidel because, let's just face it, you are an infidel in the eyes of other religions. But Muslims don't care about other people's feelings. They care about their own feelings. They would like you to bend over backwards to facilitate them, but they would never return the favor. So if you are like this guy, if you think that this is being considerate, being polite, being understanding, then you're an idiot. You should not be like this guy. Because the more you act like this guy, the more you embolden these people to behave in the manner that they keep behaving. Don't get upset then when they block your streets and pray in the middle of a road. Don't get upset when they start blaring their call to prayer on loudspeakers because you keep giving them an inch and they keep taking a mile. Stand up for your values. Stand up for your tradition and your culture. Multiculturalism can only go so far. The primary culture must always be the home culture, i.e. British culture. That's how it should be. But we live in a funny world. People just look the other way. Everyone's too scared. Like this guy, he's just what a coward. I'm sorry. You know, I mean, these are the guys that they upset me. He should have stood up and said, no, go somewhere else. This is a tea room. This is where we come and drink and eat. This is a common area. If you have a problem, go somewhere else. So don't be like that guy. I hope you liked today's video. If you would like me to continue making videos like these, then you can support me by becoming my patron by going to patreon.com/HarrisSultan, or you can simply buy me a coffee. Until next time, ta-la. If you would like to support my work, you can become my patron by going to patreon.com/HarrisSultan, or you can simply buy me a coffee.